The cruise ship's horn blared, slicing through the humid Miami air. As Mia's heart raced with a mix of thrill and dread, she stood at the edge of the deck, clutching the railing, watching the shoreline fade into a hazy smudge. This trip was supposed to be their escape, a chance to mend the cracks in her relationship with Elise, but something felt off, like a storm brewing beneath the calm sea. Mia, 26, had always been the dreamer, the one who believed love could conquer anything. Growing up in a small Ohio town, she'd fought hard to embrace her identity as a lesbian, finding solace in books and music that spoke to her soul. Elise, 28, was her opposite, bold, charismatic, a New York City graphic designer who walked into rooms like she owned them. They'd met 2 years ago at a Brooklyn art gallery, their chemistry instant, electric. But lately, Elise's late nights at work and distant texts had left Mia questioning everything. This cruise, a 7-day voyage through the Caribbean, was Mia's last-ditch effort to rekindle what they'd lost. As the ship glided into open water, Mia scanned the crowd for Elise. They'd agreed to meet on the Lido deck for the welcome party, but Elise was late again. Mia's phone buzzed with a text. Running behind, meet me at the bar in 10. She sighed, tucking her short chestnut hair behind her ear, and made her way through the throng of laughing passengers. The bar was alive with clinking glasses and upbeat reggae, but Mia's eyes caught on a stranger leaning against a pillar, her black curls cascading over a bold red top. The woman's gaze was intense, locked on someone across the room. Mia followed it and froze. Elise stood there, laughing, her blonde hair catching the light as she leaned close to the stranger, their shoulders brushing. Mia's stomach twisted. It wasn't just the proximity. It was the way Elise's hand lingered on the woman's arm, the same way it used to linger on Mia's. She took a step forward, then stopped, her heart hammering. Was this why Elise had been so distant? "Excuse me," Mia said, her voice sharper than intended, as she approached. Elise's head snapped up, her green eyes widening. "Mia, hey, I was just talking." Mia cut in, her gaze flicking to the stranger, who offered a small, unreadable smile. "Who's this?" "This is Nora," Elise said, her voice too casual. "She's a friend. From the art scene back home." Nora, 30, extended a hand, her confidence unshaken. "Nice to meet you, Mia. Elise has told me a lot about you." Mia shook her hand, but the words felt like a lie. Elise hadn't mentioned Nora once. The air thickened with tension, the reggae fading into a dull hum. Mia forced a smile, but her mind screamed. What the hell is going on? That night, in their shared cabin, Mia couldn't sleep. Elise's soft breathing filled the room, but it felt like a stranger lay beside her. She stared at the ceiling, replaying Nora's knowing smile, Elise's fleeting glances. The cruise was only day 1, and already Mia felt like she was drowning. She needed answers, but confronting Elise risked shattering everything. What if she was wrong? What if she wasn't? The next morning, the ship docked at Nassau, and Mia suggested a day exploring the island together, hoping to reclaim Elise's attention. They wandered through vibrant markets, the scent of jerk chicken and salt air mingling. But Elise's phone kept buzzing, her fingers flying over the screen. "Work?" she muttered. But Mia caught a glimpse of Nora's name before the screen went dark. At a beachside cafe, Mia couldn't hold it in anymore. "Elise, what's going on with you and Nora?" she asked, her voice trembling. Elise's fork froze midair, her expression unreadable. "Nothing's going on, Mia. You're overthinking this." "Am I?" Mia pressed, leaning forward. "Because it doesn't feel like nothing." Elise sighed, setting her fork down. "Nora's just someone I met at a gallery event. She's intense, sure, but she's nobody. Can we not do this here?" Mia wanted to believe her, but the words felt hollow. As they returned to the ship, she noticed Nora watching them from a distance. Her red lips curved in a faint smile. Mia's chest tightened. This wasn't just suspicion anymore, it was a warning. That evening, the ship hosted a masquerade ball, and Mia saw her chance to observe unnoticed. She slipped into a black mask and a flowing white dress, blending into the crowd. Elise, in a navy gown, danced with Nora, their bodies close, their laughter too intimate. Mia's heart cracked as she watched, her worst fears taking shape. She followed them when they slipped out to the deck, hiding behind a pillar. "I can't keep doing this," Elise whispered to Nora, her voice raw. "Mia deserves better." "Then tell her," Nora replied, her tone sharp. "Or I will." Mia's breath caught. She stepped out, her mask falling to the deck. "Tell me what?" she demanded, her voice shaking with rage and hurt. Elise's face paled. "Mia, don't," Mia snapped, tears burning her eyes. "I saw you. I see you." Nora stepped back, her expression unreadable, as Elise reached for Mia's hand. But Mia pulled away, the weight of betrayal crashing down. The cruise was supposed to save them. Instead, it was tearing them apart. The ocean roared below, but the sound couldn't drown out the chaos in Mia's mind. She stood frozen on the deck, the masquerade ball's music a distant echo, as Elise's pleading eyes met hers. "Mia, please, let me explain," Elise said, her voice breaking, but Mia's heart was too raw to listen. She turned and fled, weaving through masked dancers, their laughter mocking her pain. Her cabin felt like a trap, so she headed for the ship's quiet library, a small haven tucked away on the third deck. Shelves of books loomed around her, their musty scent grounding her as she sank into a leather chair, tears spilling over. How had it come to this? 2 years of love, of late-night talks and shared dreams, now unraveling under the Caribbean stars. Mia replayed every moment with Elise. Their first kiss under a Brooklyn street lamp, the way Elise's laugh could light up a room. But the signs were there. The late nights, the vague excuses, the way Elise's touch had grown hesitant. And now Nora, with her sharp confidence and knowing smirks, had slipped into their story like a thief. The library door creaked, and Mia's heart jumped. It was Nora, her red top swapped for a black sweater, her curls loose. "Mind if I sit?" she asked, her voice softer than Mia expected. Mia wanted to scream, to tell her to leave, but curiosity held her back. What did Nora want? "I know what you're thinking," Nora said, settling into a chair across from Mia. "You think I'm the villain here, aren't you?" Mia shot back, wiping her eyes. "I saw you with her. You're not just some friend." Nora leaned forward, her dark eyes steady. "Elise and I, it's complicated. We met 6 months ago at a gallery opening. She was struggling, Mia, with herself. I didn't mean for things to go this far." Mia's chest tightened. "So you are sleeping with her?" Nora hesitated, then nodded. "Once. It was a mistake. But Elise loves you. She's just lost." The words hit like a punch. Mia wanted to hate Nora, but her honesty disarmed her. Still, the betrayal stung deeper than she could bear. "Why are you telling me this?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Because you deserve the truth," Nora said. "And because I'm leaving the ship tomorrow at St. Thomas. I won't be the one to ruin what you two have." Mia stared at her, torn between anger and a strange gratitude. Nora stood, leaving Mia alone with her thoughts. The library felt colder now, the weight of Nora's words sinking in. Elise loved her. But was love enough when trust was shattered? The next day, the ship docked at St. Thomas, and Mia avoided Elise, wandering the island's colorful streets alone. The vibrant shops and turquoise waters couldn't distract her from the ache in her chest. She sat on a bench overlooking the harbor, watching couples laugh and hold hands, and wondered if she and Elise could ever be that carefree again. When she returned to the ship, Elise was waiting in their cabin, her eyes red from crying. "Mia, I'm so sorry," she said, her voice raw. "I didn't mean to hurt you. Nora was a mistake. I was confused, and I—" "Stop," Mia said, her voice steady despite the tears. "You don't get to just apologize and make this okay. You cheated, Elise. You broke us." Elise sank onto the bed, her hands trembling. "I know I messed up, but I love you, Mia. I've always loved you. Can we at least talk about this?" Mia wanted to walk away, to let the pain consume her, but something in Elise's voice, raw, desperate, made her pause. They spent hours talking, Elise confessing how her work stress and fear of commitment had pushed her toward Nora. Mia listened, her heart warring between love and betrayal. By the end of the night, they agreed to try rebuilding, but Mia set boundaries. No more secrets, no more Nora. Elise nodded, tears streaming down her face, and for the first time in days, they held each other, the embrace fragile but real. The next morning, Mia woke to find Elise gone. A note on the pillow read, "Gone to clear my head. Meet me at the pool tonight." Panic flared in Mia's chest. Was Elise with Nora again? She spent the day searching the ship, her trust hanging by a thread. At the pool that evening, Elise was alone, her navy dress replaced by a simple tank top and shorts. "I needed to think," she said, her voice steady. "About us, about what I want. I choose you, Mia, if you'll still have me." Mia's heart ached, but she wasn't ready to forgive. "I need time," she said, her voice soft but firm. "And I need you to prove it." Elise nodded, her eyes filled with determination. As the ship sailed toward its next port, Mia felt a flicker of hope, but the shadow of Nora lingered, a reminder that love was a risk, one she wasn't sure she could take again. The ship's gentle sway felt like a mockery of Mia's unsteady heart. She stood by the pool, watching Elise's earnest eyes, searching for a truth she could hold on to. But the memory of Elise and Nora, their whispers on the deck, clung to her like damp, salt air. The next day, the ship anchored at San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Mia suggested they explore old San Juan together, hoping the vibrant streets might mend their fractured connection. Cobblestone paths wound past colorful colonial buildings, the air thick with the scent of empanadas and sea breeze. Elise held Mia's hand, her grip tight, as if afraid Mia might slip away. They stopped at a small cafe, its walls adorned with local art. Mia watched Elise sip her coffee, her blonde hair catching the sunlight. "I want to believe you," Mia said, her voice low, "but I keep seeing you with her. How do I trust you again?" Elise set her cup down, her hands trembling. "I know I broke your trust. I'm not perfect, Mia, but I'm trying. I ended things with Nora. She's gone." Mia wanted to ask more, to dig into every detail, but the pain in Elise's eyes stopped her. Instead, they walked to El Morro, the ancient fortress overlooking the ocean. The view was breathtaking, but Mia's thoughts were elsewhere. She wondered if Nora was truly gone, or if her shadow would haunt them forever. Back on the ship, the days blurred into a rhythm of tentative steps toward healing. Elise was attentive, planning dinners and stargazing nights, but Mia felt guarded, her heart bruised. One evening, during a salsa dancing class, Elise pulled Mia close, their bodies moving in sync. For a moment, Mia forgot the hurt, lost in Elise's warmth. But when the music stopped, the doubts crept back. On the fifth day, the ship docked at St. Martin, and Mia noticed a change in Elise. She was quieter, her phone untouched, her focus solely on Mia. They spent the day snorkeling, the underwater world a kaleidoscope of color that felt like a metaphor for what they could be. Beautiful, if they could navigate the depths. That night, at a shipboard comedy show, Mia laughed for the first time in days, Elise's arm around her shoulders. But as they left the theater, Mia spotted a familiar figure in the crowd, Nora. Her black curls were unmistakable, her red top a bold declaration. Mia's heart sank. "You said she was gone," she whispered, her voice shaking. Elise followed her gaze, her face paling. "She was supposed to leave at St. Thomas." "I swear, Mia, I didn't know." Mia's hands clenched into fists. "Then why is she still here?" They confronted Nora near the ship's atrium, her calm demeanor infuriating. "I missed my stop," Nora said, shrugging. "Decided to stay for the full cruise. It's a free country, isn't it?" Mia's anger flared. "Stay away from us," she snapped. Nora raised an eyebrow, then walked away, her confidence unshaken. Elise grabbed Mia's hand. "I didn't know, I promise. Please, Mia, don't let her ruin this." But Mia pulled away, storming to their cabin. Alone, she sat on the balcony, the ocean stretching endlessly before her. She thought of her life before Elise. Lonely but safe. Was this love worth the pain? The next morning, Elise left another note. Meet me at the art gallery tonight. I have something to show you. Mia's instincts screamed to stay away, but curiosity pulled her to the gallery, a small space filled with vibrant paintings. Elise stood beside a canvas, her eyes nervous but hopeful. I painted this, Elise said, gesturing to a portrait of Mia, her face soft and radiant against a backdrop of stars. I started it months ago, before everything. That's how I see you, Mia. How I've always seen you. Mia's throat tightened. The painting was beautiful, a testament to Elise's love, but it couldn't erase the betrayal. It's not enough, she said, tears falling. I need more than art. I need trust. Elise nodded, her own eyes wet. I'll spend every day proving it to you, if you give me the chance. Mia didn't respond, her heart torn. As the ship sailed toward its final port, she wondered if love could be rebuilt on broken foundations, or if some cracks were too deep to mend. The ship's hum vibrated through Mia's bones as she stood on the balcony, the night air cool against her skin. Elise's painting lingered in her mind, a vivid reminder of what they'd once had. But Nora's presence, like a persistent shadow, made every step toward forgiveness feel like a leap over a chasm. The next day, the ship docked at Grand Cayman, and Mia needed space. She wandered the island alone, her sneakers sinking into the white sand of 7 Mile Beach. The turquoise waves lapped at her feet, but they couldn't wash away the image of Elise and Nora dancing, their connection undeniable. Mia's phone buzzed. Elise again. Can we talk? I'm at the turtle farm. Mia ignored it, needing to untangle her thoughts. She sat under a palm tree, watching families splash in the water. Growing up, Mia had always felt like an outsider, her small-town roots clashing with her identity. Elise had been her safe harbor, the one who made her feel seen. But now that safety was gone, replaced by a gnawing doubt. Could she rebuild trust with someone who'd shattered it? Back on the ship, Mia found Elise waiting at their cabin, her eyes puffy. You didn't come, Elise said, her voice small. I'm trying so hard, Mia. Trying isn't enough, Mia replied, her tone sharp. You lied about Nora. She's still here, Elise. How am I supposed to believe anything you say? Elise's shoulders slumped. I didn't know she'd stay. I told her it was over. I swear, Mia, I'm done with her. Mia wanted to believe her, but the words felt like echoes of promises already broken. They spent the evening apart, Mia wandering the ship's decks, Elise retreating to the bar. The distance between them grew, a silent chasm filled with unspoken fears. The next morning, the ship hosted a photography workshop, and Mia signed up, hoping to distract herself. The instructor, a kind older woman named Clara, noticed Mia's quiet demeanor. You look like you're carrying the world, Clara said, adjusting her camera. Mia forced a smile, but Clara's warmth cracked her defenses. Over coffee after the workshop, Mia poured out her story. The love, the betrayal, the confusion. Clara listened, her eyes crinkling with empathy. Love is messy, she said, but it's also resilient. If you both want it, you can find a way through. The question is, do you want it? Mia didn't have an answer. That night, the ship threw a talent show, and Elise surprised her by performing a song she'd written. Her voice, raw and soulful, filled the auditorium, the lyrics a plea for forgiveness. Mia's heart ached as she listened, torn between the love she still felt and the pain that wouldn't fade. After the show, they walked to the deck, the stars bright above. I meant every word, Elise said, her voice trembling. I know I hurt you, but I'm here, Mia. I'm fighting for us. Mia's eyes burned with tears. I don't know if I can do this, she admitted. Every time I look at you, I see her. Elise's face crumpled, but she nodded. I'll wait, as long as it takes. The next day, Mia spotted Nora at the ship's gym, her presence a jolt to her system. Anger surged, and she marched over. Why are you still here? Mia demanded. You said you'd leave. Nora set down her weights, her expression calm. I stayed because I love the ocean. Not because of Elise. But you don't believe that, do you? Mia's fists clenched. You're tearing us apart. No, Nora said, her voice steady. You and Elise are doing that yourselves. If your love was solid, I wouldn't be a threat. The words stung, cutting deeper because they held a grain of truth. Mia walked away, her mind spinning. Was Nora right? Was their relationship fragile even before her? That evening, Mia found Elise in their cabin, packing a small bag. I'm giving you space, Elise said, her voice thick with emotion. I'll sleep in a guest cabin tonight. But I'm not giving up. Mia didn't stop her. But as the door closed, she felt a pang of loss. Alone, she sat on the bed, clutching Elise's pillow. Its familiar scent a reminder of what they'd built. She thought of Clara's words, of Elise's song, of Nora's challenge. Love was messy, but was it worth fighting for? As the ship sailed toward its final port, Mia knew she had to decide. Forgive and rebuild, or let go and start anew. The answer wasn't clear, but the weight of it pressed heavy on her heart. The ship's final port loomed, a ticking clock on Mia's decision. She woke to an empty cabin, Elise's absence a hollow ache. The Caribbean sun blazed outside, but inside, Mia felt cold, caught between love's pull and betrayal's sting. She spent the morning at the ship's spa, hoping a massage might ease her tension. The soft music and lavender scent did little to quiet her mind. Every touch reminded her of Elise's hands, once a source of comfort, now a question mark. She closed her eyes, picturing Elise's song from the talent show, the raw vulnerability in her voice. Could someone who hurt her so deeply still love her so fiercely? At lunch, Mia sat alone at a deckside cafe, watching passengers laugh and clink glasses. A familiar voice broke her thoughts. Clara, the photography instructor, slid into the seat across from her. You look like you're still wrestling with the world, Clara said, her smile gentle. Mia managed a weak laugh. Is it that obvious? Clara leaned forward, her eyes kind. I've been married 30 years. Trust me, love tests you. But it's the fights you choose that define you. Mia sipped her iced tea, considering Clara's words. What if the fight feels impossible? Then you decide what you can live with, Clara said. Forgiveness or freedom. That afternoon, the ship docked at Cozumel, Mexico, and Mia wandered the vibrant markets, the colors and sounds a temporary distraction. She bought a small silver bracelet, its delicate chain a reminder of the one Elise had given her on their first anniversary. She slipped it on, her heart twisting. Could she still wear Elise's love? Or was it time to let go? Back on the ship, Mia found Elise at the pool, her blonde hair damp from a swim. I missed you today, Elise said, her voice soft. I know you need space, but I'm here, Mia. Mia's throat tightened. I saw Nora again. She said our love was weak. That's why you fell for her. Elise's face darkened. She's wrong. I was weak, not us. I let my fears get in the way, but I'm done running. Mia wanted to believe her, but doubt lingered like a fog. They spent the evening in silence, watching a movie in the ship's theater, their hands close but not touching. The distance felt safer, but it also felt wrong. The next day, Mia joined a shipboard cooking class, hoping to clear her head. The instructor paired her with a cheerful woman named Sarah, who chatted about her own relationship struggles. My girlfriend and I broke up last year, Sarah said, chopping cilantro. She lied about something small, but it snowballed. Trust is everything. Mia nodded, her thoughts on Elise. What made you move on? Sarah smiled sadly. Realizing I deserved someone who didn't make me question my worth. The words hit hard. Mia left the class with a new resolve, to confront her fears and demand clarity. She found Elise on the deck, staring at the horizon. We need to talk, Mia said, her voice steady. No more half-truths. Tell me everything about Nora. Elise's eyes filled with tears, but she nodded. Over the next hour, she laid it all bare. How Nora's confidence had drawn her in during a rough patch. How one night of weakness had spiraled into guilt. I ended it before the cruise, Elise said. I thought I could fix us without telling you. That was my biggest mistake. Mia listened, her heart aching but clearer. I need to know you're all in, she said. No more secrets. I am, Elise vowed, her voice fierce. I'll do whatever it takes. That night, they attended a shipboard concert, the music soulful and raw. Elise reached for Mia's hand, and this time, Mia didn't pull away. The warmth of her touch felt like a lifeline, but Mia knew trust would take time. As the ship sailed toward Miami, Mia felt a shift. She wasn't ready to forgive completely, but she was ready to try. The bracelet on her wrist glinted in the moonlight, a symbol of what they'd been, and what they might still become. The ship's final days felt like a tightrope walk, each moment testing Mia's resolve. She and Elise were trying. Small gestures, shared glances. But the shadow of Nora lingered, a ghost neither could fully banish. As the cruise neared its end, Mia wondered if they could outrun the past or if it would follow them to shore. The sixth day brought a stop at Key West, and Mia suggested they explore together, craving normalcy. They rented bikes, pedaling through streets lined with pastel bungalows and swaying palms. Elise's laughter rang out as they raced down Duval Street, and for a moment, Mia felt like they were back in Brooklyn, free and in love. But when they stopped at a cafe, Elise's phone buzzed, and Mia's heart sank. It's just work, Elise said quickly, showing Mia the screen. It was true, a client email, but Mia's trust was still fragile. I'm trying, Elise, Mia said, her voice low. But every time your phone lights up, I brace myself. Elise reached across the table, her hand warm on Mia's. I know. I'm going to keep showing you I'm here. No more surprises. They spent the afternoon at a beach, the sand warm under their feet. Elise built a sandcastle, her hands deft and focused, and Mia watched, remembering how those hands used to sketch her dreams. I miss us, Mia admitted, her voice barely audible over the waves. Elise looked up, her eyes soft. I miss us too. I'm not giving up, Mia. Back on the ship, Mia attended a yoga class, hoping to find clarity. The instructor's calm voice guided her through poses, but her mind kept drifting to Elise's confession, to Nora's words, to Clara's advice. Love was a choice, but so was forgiveness. Could she choose both? That evening, the ship hosted a formal dinner, and Mia dressed in a sleek black dress, her heart pounding as she met Elise at the dining hall. Elise looked stunning in an emerald gown, her blonde hair swept up. They sat close, their knees brushing, and for the first time in days, Mia felt a spark of hope. But halfway through dinner, Nora appeared, her black curls striking against a white dress. She joined a nearby table, her laughter carrying across the room. Mia's fork clattered to her plate. Why is she everywhere? She muttered. Elise's face tightened. I'll handle it. Before Mia could stop her, Elise stood and approached Nora's table. Mia watched, her heart racing, as Elise spoke quietly but firmly. Nora's smile faded, and she nodded, leaving the dining hall. What did you say? Mia asked when Elise returned. I told her to stay away, Elise said, her voice steady. I told her I'm done, and I'm choosing you. Mia's chest warmed, but doubt lingered. I want to believe you, she said, but I need time. Elise nodded, her eyes earnest. I'll wait. The next day, Mia found a note slipped under their cabin door. Meet me at the observatory deck at midnight. Elise. Mia's heart fluttered with nerves and hope. She spent the day reflecting, wandering the ship's quiet corners. At the library, she ran into Clara again, who smiled knowingly. Made your choice yet? Clara asked. I'm trying, Mia said. It's just hard. Clara patted her hand. The hard choices are the ones worth making. At midnight, Mia climbed to the observatory deck, the stars a breathtaking canopy above. Elise stood there holding a small box. I know I've hurt you, Elise said, her voice trembling, but I want to build a future with you. This is my promise. She opened the box, revealing a silver ring, simple but elegant. It's not an engagement ring, Elise said quickly. It's a promise to be honest, to be yours if you'll let me. Mia's breath caught. She took the ring, her fingers trembling, but didn't put it on. I need to think, she said, her voice soft. But thank you. Elise nodded, tears in her eyes. As they stood under the stars, Mia felt the weight of their journey. The pain, the love, the uncertainty. The ship was nearing Miami, and with it, a decision she couldn't avoid. The ring rested heavy in Mia's pocket as the ship sailed its final night. She stood at the railing, the ocean a dark mirror reflecting her turmoil. Elise's promise felt real, but could it outweigh the betrayal that still burned in her chest? The morning brought a flurry of activity as passengers prepared to disembark in Miami. Mia and Elise packed in silence, their movements careful, as if one wrong step could shatter their fragile truce. Mia caught Elise glancing at her, hope and fear mingling in her green eyes. "We'll be okay, right?" Elise asked, her voice small. Mia paused, her heart aching. "I don't know yet," she said honestly, "but I'm trying." They spent the day in the ship's atrium, surrounded by the buzz of farewells. Mia noticed Nora across the room, her black curls tucked under a hat, her gaze fixed elsewhere. For the first time, Mia didn't feel rage, just exhaustion. Nora wasn't the problem. The problem was what she and Elise had let their relationship become. At a quiet coffee shop on the ship, Mia and Elise sat across from each other, the air heavy with unspoken words. "I keep thinking about what Nora said," Mia admitted, "that our love was weak. Maybe she's right." Elise's face fell. "She's not. We were strong, Mia. I broke that, but I want to fix it. Tell me what you need." Mia took a deep breath. "I need you to be honest, always, and I need time to trust you again." Elise nodded, her eyes glistening. "I'll give you that. I'll give you everything." That afternoon, Mia attended a shipboard art class, sketching the ocean as a way to process her emotions. The instructor, a vibrant woman named Lila, praised her work. "There's so much feeling in this," Lila said, studying Mia's drawing of turbulent waves. "You're telling a story." Mia smiled faintly. "It's a messy one." Lila chuckled. "The best stories are." As the ship neared Miami, Mia felt the weight of her decision pressing harder. She thought of her life back home, her job as a librarian, her cozy apartment, her dreams of a future with Elise. Could she let go of that vision, or was it worth fighting for? That evening, the ship hosted a farewell party, the deck alive with music and lights. Elise asked Mia to dance, her hand outstretched. Mia hesitated, then took it, their bodies swaying to a slow song. Elise's touch was familiar, grounding, and for a moment, Mia let herself believe they could heal. But as the song ended, Mia saw Nora watching from the bar, her expression unreadable. Anger flared, but Mia pushed it down. She wouldn't let Nora control her emotions anymore. She pulled Elise closer, whispering, "Let's go somewhere private." They found a quiet corner of the deck, the stars bright above. "I've been thinking about the ring," Mia said, her voice steady. "I'm not ready to wear it, but I'm keeping it. That's my promise to try." Elise's eyes lit up, tears spilling over. "That's more than I deserve." "Thank you, Mia." They held each other, the ocean breeze cool against their skin. But as they returned to the party, Mia caught Nora's gaze again, and a chill ran through her. Something in Nora's eyes felt unfinished, like a storm waiting to break. The next morning, as the ship docked in Miami, Mia and Elise stood together, watching the city come into view. "What happens now?" Elise asked, her voice trembling. "We go home," Mia said, her hand brushing Elise's. "And we figure it out. Together." But as they disembarked, Mia noticed a note slipped into her bag. "You deserve better. Nora." Her heart sank. Was Nora still trying to pull them apart? Or was she right? Mia tucked the note away, her resolve hardening. She wouldn't let Nora's words define her future. As they stepped onto the dock, Mia felt the weight of the ring in her pocket, a reminder of the choice she'd made, to fight for love, even when it hurt. The road ahead would be hard, but for the first time, she felt ready to face it. Miami's skyline gleamed as Mia and Elise stepped off the ship, their hands brushing but not quite holding. The air was thick with the promise of a new start, but Nora's note burned in Mia's pocket, a quiet challenge to her resolve. She wanted to believe in Elise, but trust was a fragile thread, and every step felt like a test. Back in Brooklyn, their apartment felt both familiar and foreign. The walls held memories, late-night talks, shared meals, Elise's sketches pinned to the fridge. But now, those memories were tainted, overlaid with the image of Elise and Nora on the cruise. Mia set the ring on her nightstand, not ready to wear it but unwilling to hide it away. Elise was trying. She cooked dinner their first night back, a simple pasta dish they used to make together, her hands nervous as she stirred the sauce. "I want this to work," she said, her voice soft. "I know it's on me to prove it." Mia nodded, her heart torn. "I'm here, Elise, but it's going to take time." The next week, Mia threw herself into her work at the library, finding solace in the quiet stacks. Her coworker, Jamie, noticed her distraction. "Rough trip?" Jamie asked, shelving books beside her. Mia sighed, spilling the story in hushed tones. Jamie listened, her eyes kind. "You're stronger than you think," she said. "But don't let her mistake define you." Mia carried those words home, where Elise was waiting with a surprise. A small art show at a local gallery, featuring her latest work. "I want you to see this," Elise said, her voice nervous. The gallery was crowded, the air buzzing with chatter, but Mia's focus was on Elise's paintings. Vibrant, emotional pieces that told their story. One canvas showed two women under a starry sky, their hands intertwined, a quiet promise of hope. "It's us," Elise whispered, standing beside her. "How I want us to be." Mia's throat tightened. "It's beautiful," she said, but the words felt heavy. Beauty wasn't enough to erase the past. That night, Mia found another note slipped under their door. "She'll hurt you again. Nora." Rage surged through her. How had Nora found them? She showed the note to Elise, whose face paled. "I didn't tell her where we live," Elise said, her voice shaking. "I swear, Mia." Mia believed her, but the note was a reminder of how easily trust could unravel. She spent the next day searching for Nora online, finding her art profile, a bold, unapologetic portfolio that matched her personality. Mia considered confronting her but decided against it. Nora didn't get to control their story. Instead, Mia suggested therapy, a step toward rebuilding. Elise agreed eagerly, and they found a counselor, Dr. Harper, whose calm presence felt like a lifeline. In their first session, Mia voiced her fears, her voice breaking. "I love her, but I'm scared she'll break my heart again." Elise reached for her hand. "I won't. I'm learning, Mia. I'm not perfect, but I'm yours." Dr. Harper guided them through exercises, honesty prompts, trust-building tasks. It was hard, raw work, but Mia felt a shift, a small crack of light in the darkness. They started small rituals at home, morning coffee together, evening walks through Prospect Park. Each moment was a brick in their new foundation, but Mia still checked Elise's phone, her trust tentative. One evening, as they walked hand in hand, Elise stopped under a street lamp, the same one where they'd shared their first kiss. "I know I messed up," she said, her voice steady, "but I'm here, every day, choosing you." Mia's eyes filled with tears. She pulled the ring from her pocket, slipping it onto her finger. "I'm choosing you too," she said, "but I'm also choosing me." Elise's smile was radiant, and they kissed, the moment fragile but real. As they walked home, Mia felt lighter, but Nora's notes lingered in her mind. Was this peace temporary, or had they finally turned a corner? The ring on Mia's finger felt both heavy and light, a promise she was still learning to trust. Weeks had passed since the cruise, and Brooklyn's autumn leaves painted the streets in fiery hues, mirroring the cautious warmth growing between her and Elise. But Nora's notes, 3 more had arrived, each cryptic and cutting, kept Mia on edge, a reminder that their peace was fragile. Mia and Elise settled into a rhythm, their therapy sessions with Dr. Harper anchoring them. They talked openly now, about fears, dreams, and the cracks in their relationship. Elise was transparent, sharing her phone, her schedule, her thoughts. Mia saw her effort, but the shadow of doubt lingered, especially when a new note appeared. You're fooling yourself. Nora. Mia confronted Elise that night, her voice shaking as she held up the note. How is she still doing this? Are you talking to her? Elise's eyes widened, hurt flashing across her face. No, Mia. I blocked her number, her socials, everything. I don't know how she's finding us. Mia believed her, but the notes were a violation, a crack in their healing. She decided to take action, contacting a friend, Alex, who worked in cybersecurity. Alex traced the notes to a P.O. box in Manhattan, registered under Nora's name. She's playing games, Alex said. You could report her for harassment. Mia hesitated. Reporting Nora felt like giving her power, but ignoring her wasn't working either. She and Elise agreed to confront Nora together, to end this once and for all. They found her at a gallery event in Soho, her black curls unmistakable in the crowd. Nora, Mia called, her voice firm. Nora turned, her smile cool but guarded. What do you want? Stop the notes, Mia said, Elise standing close beside her. You're not part of our lives. Nora's eyes flicked to Elise, then back to Mia. I'm just telling the truth. She'll hurt you again. Elise stepped forward, her voice steady. You don't get to decide that. I made a mistake, and I'm fixing it. Leave us alone. Nora's smile faded, and for the first time, Mia saw a flicker of vulnerability. Fine, Nora said, raising her hands. I'm done. She walked away, disappearing into the crowd, but Mia felt no triumph, only relief. Back home, Mia and Elise sat on their couch, the silence heavy but not uncomfortable. I'm proud of you, Mia said, her hand finding Elise's. You stood up to her. Elise squeezed her hand. I stood up for us. I'm not letting anyone come between us again. The next weeks were quieter, the absence of Nora's notes a small victory. Mia and Elise leaned into their routines, cooking, therapy, walks. One evening, Elise surprised Mia with a picnic in Prospect Park, the air crisp and the stars bright. They lay on a blanket, sharing stories of their childhoods, their dreams. I want to travel with you, Elise said, her voice soft. Not a cruise, but somewhere new. Just us. Mia smiled, her heart warming. I'd like that. But as winter approached, Mia noticed a change in herself. She was stronger, more sure of her worth. The ring on her finger was a reminder of their commitment, but also of her own resilience. She started writing again, pouring her emotions into a journal, her words a map of her healing. One night, as snow dusted Brooklyn, Mia and Elise sat by their window, watching the flakes fall. I love you, Mia said, her voice steady. And I'm choosing to trust you. But I'm also choosing me. Elise's eyes filled with tears. That's all I want. You, me, us, together. Mia nodded, feeling the weight of the past easing. Nora was gone, but the scars remained. They would heal slowly, but Mia knew now that love wasn't just about trust. It was about choosing to fight, every day, for what mattered. Winter wrapped Brooklyn in a quiet hush, the snow blanketing Mia and Elise's world as they rebuilt their love. The ring on Mia's finger no longer felt like a question mark, but a quiet promise. One they were both keeping, day by day. Nora's notes had stopped, and though her shadow lingered, Mia felt stronger, her heart steadier than it had been in months. They continued therapy with Dr. Harper, each session peeling back layers of hurt and hope. Mia learned to voice her fears without shame, and Elise learned to listen without defensiveness. They were far from perfect, but they were trying, and that was enough for now. One snowy afternoon, Mia found Elise in their apartment, sketching at the kitchen table. The drawing was of them, standing on a beach, hands clasped, the ocean stretching behind them. This is where I want to go, Elise said, her voice soft. Somewhere warm, where we can start fresh. Mia smiled, tracing the lines of the sketch. Let's do it. A new adventure. They planned a trip to Hawaii, a place neither had been, booking a small beach house on Maui. The anticipation gave them something to hold on to, a shared dream to anchor their healing. Mia started writing again, her journal entries turning into a story about love, betrayal, and redemption. She shared it with Elise, who read it with tears in her eyes. "This is us," Elise said, her voice thick. "Messy, but beautiful." Spring arrived, and with it a sense of renewal. Mia and Elise walked through Prospect Park, the cherry blossoms in bloom, their hands intertwined. Mia felt the ring's weight, a reminder of their journey. "I'm proud of us," she said, her voice steady. "We're stronger than I thought." Elise squeezed her hand. "We're stronger because of you. You didn't give up on me, even when I deserved it." Mia shook her head. "I didn't give up on us. There's a difference." That summer, they flew to Maui, the island's lush greenery and turquoise waters a stark contrast to Brooklyn's bustle. Their beach house was small but cozy, with a porch overlooking the ocean. They spent their days hiking, swimming, and laughing, rediscovering the joy they'd lost. One evening, as the sun set, Elise pulled Mia close, her lips brushing her ear. "I love you," she whispered. "Thank you for giving us a chance." Mia's heart swelled. "I love you too, and I'm glad I did." But healing wasn't linear. Some nights, Mia woke with doubts, the memory of Nora's smirk haunting her. She'd check Elise's phone, guilt mixing with relief when she found nothing. Elise noticed, her eyes sad but understanding. "I'll keep earning your trust," she promised. And she did, through honesty, patience, and love. On their last night in Maui, they sat on the beach, the stars bright above. Mia pulled out her journal, reading aloud a passage she'd written. "Love isn't perfect. It's a choice, a fight, a promise to keep showing up, even when it hurts. We're not defined by our mistakes, but by what we do after." Elisa's eyes glistened. "That's our story," she said, her voice soft. "And I want to keep writing it with you." Mia nodded, slipping the ring off her finger and handing it to Elise. "Put it on me again," she said. "This time, it's forever." Elise slid the ring onto Mia's finger, her hands trembling. They kissed, the ocean's rhythm a backdrop to their vow. The cruise, Nora, the pain, it was part of their story, but not the end. Back in Brooklyn, Mia published her story, dedicating it to Elise. The book launch was small, but their friends filled the room with love. Jamie, Clara, even Dr. Harper came, their presence a testament to the community that had carried them through. As Mia signed copies, Elise stood beside her, their hands linked. The scars of the past would always be there, but so would their love, fierce, flawed, and worth every fight. They'd caught each other, not just in betrayal, but in redemption, and that was the story they'd tell for years to come.